And we are here. We are live, of course. And this is what
Hi.
the Just Saying Podcast. Of course, I am.
I'm
So we are here.
Lynn.
But I guess it's the very. So I guess it's the very first episode for 2026. Help me if
Yes.
I'm right, wrong.
Yes. We are moving into
Okay.
2026, entering in a new stage of our lives, for everyone. Um, every year brings something new. So, yeah, 2026 should be exciting for everybody.
You know what? I agree. I agree. Because that's where we at right now. I know you mentioned something about putting yourself first and moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. It's something that you implemented, something you put in the atmosphere. So I'm a gentleman. I'm just gonna go ahead let you go ahead and introduce it, and we're just gonna flow with that because I think this is a very, very important topic of discussion that we could talk about. What we're doing in our own personal lives as we're progressing, we're moving forward. Because it's all about the results, right? Because we always
Oh,
want
yeah.
to see the results and see the fruits of our labor and not get
Mhm.
lost in the sauce. And I know a
Yeah.
lot of times we do get lost in the sauce, so we're not careful. I had a conversation with someone about this a while back, and it make a lot of sense. We was always no, I was reading something. I take that back. We was
Mhm.
always taught to put everybody else's first, but we was never taught to put ourselves first. Because you put yourself first, you come up being a narcissist, selfish, and all these negative words. But just think about how many times we put our lives on hold for other people and lack big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Now we gotta
Mm.
play catch up. That makes sense. Well, go ahead.
Oh
Just go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, I just feel like just, as far as that is concerned, I think we have to recognize the loyalty that we have to have within. I gotta open up my drink. The
Go
loyalty
ahead.
that we gotta have for ourselves, um versus having more loyalty for someone else. Um and ultimately I feel like if you have people in your lives that are good for you, it will benefit them as well. um and if they mean well to you, it will all come in place. But let's talk about it before you move on. Or how do you put yourself first? Let's talk about the steps. Like I hear so many situations and so many cases where, let's just say, I personally feel like a woman does not have to endure um, pain, heartache, cheating, getting cheated on, all that stuff to show their loyalty and who they are, for the person that they are with, whether it's a man or a woman. Um, because that's the time that is the days that we are living in. Okay. Um, I was born in '80, so it's you know everybody is you know is ex- everybody is with the person that they love now, and it's very out, and there are no excuses for people, but still the excuse comes into play where they feel like who they love is more important. Well, I think we need to talk about that a little bit, go into depth about that a little bit. um how do you do that? Let's talk about it. um So I was reading something. So I'm gonna read it right now. And let's just talk about relationships right now, and then we can move on from other stuff too. Because
Hmm.
this isn't just putting yourself first. As far as love is concerned, it can be school, it can be your kids, it could be everything. It can be your goals, everything. So I read this article, and I just wanted to see what Google had to say. Right.
Okay.
So instead of moving on from heartache, I just put in putting yourself first, right?
Right.
And this is the first thing that came up. Moving on from heartache involves allowing yourself to grieve, practicing self care, sleep, nutrition, exercise, leaning on supportive friends, family, limiting contact with the ex, especially social media, finding healthy distractions, rediscovering yourself through new hobbies, and seeking therapy and deeper issues. And it was highlighted. Recognizing that healing isn't the linear but gradual through self compassion and consistent efforts. So, and then it talked about allowing grief. What is grief? Okay, because grief comes with that. Um, when a person change or they change from who you once thought that they were. And it's so funny we're talking about this because I was watching this like the little drama earlier, and one of the things that I had mentioned, I wish I would have wrote it down. It said something about, can a person really walk away forever from a person that they loved with all their heart? And the man in the drama said no. And the woman smiled, and she, because that's what she wanted to hear. But in hindsight is always 2020. That's delusional because you can, and people do it every day. You find each other, you love each other, and sometimes things doesn't work out, and you make all these promises to each other, and guess what? You end up walking away, and that's just what it is. But what comes with that? Grief comes with that. It almost feels like you're grieving for not just a relationship. It feels like you're grieving for yourself. You're grieving for the person that you knew. You're grieving for the relationship that you knew. You're grieving for the person that you built yourself to be around that person. It's a lot of stuff that you are grieving for. You're feeling sad. You're feeling angry. You're feeling lost. The most important thing I feel though is you shouldn't bottle it up because the one thing Google did get right was seeking help, seeking support, seeking therapy. That is very important, especially during a time where mental health is so accessible, because it's very accessible nowadays. And or to get help, that's what I mean. To get help, to get therapy is very accessible. Um, it just takes that step to do it. It just takes that step to do it. Um, accept fluctuations. Understand that healing isn't a straight line, and emotions will vary day to day. You might feel happy one day, you might feel sad one day. You might go a week not thinking about somebody or thinking about the situation at hand. And then all of a sudden, you're super sad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, it also talked about writing stuff down. But
Right.
really, to tell you the truth, that doesn't really happen. From my experience, I've noticed that a lot of people don't write things down like they used to. It just doesn't happen. Um, but what you can do, um, practice self care and build resilience. Basic needs is prioritizing sleep. That is so important. Sleep is so important. When you don't get sleep, mm, it will physically make you sick. It will physically make you sick. So healthy eating, regular exercising, like I said earlier, it can all combat distress. Um, mindfulness, try meditation or spending time in nature to calm your nervous system. Avoid unhealthy coping. Steer clear of drugs, excessive alcohol, or emotional eating. And a lot of people will subsidize their grief with doing other things that will, where they feel like, okay, this will make me forget what I have been going through, but it never does. But putting yourself first and doing that just doesn't stop at relationships. It also we're also talking about like even careers. I mean, look at your career. Like when you get older and you start to have regrets, and you think about regrets that you have had, things that you should have done when you were younger. Um, you know, all those things starts to kind of hit a little. It hits a whole lot when you start to think about your lifespan, and as your life comes to that age of, well, hey, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Now I'm in my 50s, or I'm in my 40s, and time will go so fast. It goes so fast, and it goes faster than what a lot of people realize. But it's stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Just putting yourself first. You just got to just make sure that you are important. That is my and that's my main goal. That is my main goal for 2026. Um, family is a big one. Family is a big one, because they always say blood is thicker than water, but that is
All right.
definitely not my saying. Okay, that is definitely not my saying. Because that water might be better. You can't live without that water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll die without that water sometimes. So you have to. It's important to differentiate what is good for you, who is good for you, what is bringing peace in your life, and what isn't. Who is bringing peace in your life and who isn't? Who wishes you well and who doesn't? Who wants to just take your ideas and wants to go use you, and who doesn't? Who will be there from the beginning to the end? So those are the most important things when it comes to putting yourself first, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as what I think. How about you, buddy? What are we talking about here for 2026? Putting yourself first.
Oh, hey, putting yourself to me is very, very important. It should be a mandate. It should be mandatory to me per to put yourself first. You know, biblically it says no man yet hate his own flesh but nurse and cherish it. So if you love yourself, you're gonna take care of yourself. You're gonna make sure you get everything that you need. Matter of fact, you're gonna make sure you at the end of the day it's gonna benefit you at the end of the day. For a prime example, going back to 2017 when my divorce was finalized back in 2017, my first
Hmm.
priority was to get myself together. When I say get myself together, is focus on who Furman is and learn who Furman is. And it's what 2026 now, but I'm still learning as I go. But that's why I made a transition. I said in 2020, by me still working in law enforcement back then, still to this day, I
Hmm.
transitioned from Alabama to Texas, put myself first, to why to get more out my comfort zone. But my main focus, like I said, is getting to know who I am first.
Yeah.
Learn how to set boundaries for myself first. Don't have to be a yes man. Learn how to say no. It's okay to say no. And I know a
Mm.
lot of times people will manipulate you and play on you like that. 'Cause I remember years ago, I had a friend of mine sit in my living room when I was back home in Mobile and told me, Furman, never let nobody ride your success.
Mm.
And that's something that I took lightly, but as I listen to that now, it makes a lot of sense, Lo, because
Yeah.
people can come in and take from you, and we could be so giving
Yeah.
and we pour out all the time, but you never get it back. If that makes sense. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
you giving, giving,
Yeah.
giving, but then when it's your time for help, them same people nowhere to be found.
Of
They make
course.
up all
Of
kind
course.
of excuses why they can't do it, why they can't do this, why they can't do this. But they expect you to bend over backwards. They expect you to got your bed at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to help them. But when the shoes on the other foot, they make up all kind of excuses why they can't do that. But I want to give you that. But like I said, learn to put yourself is important. Like I said, what I do now, like I said, on my health journey. Um, like I said, take care of my health is important.
Yeah.
Learning new things is important to me. Getting out of my comfort zone. is
Yeah.
important to me as well. You know what I'm saying? Learning to do different things. When people come to your life for the right reasons, they help you get out your comfort zone. They stretch you out your comfort zone and introduce you to a new world of opportunities and new world of adventures and things you never really did before,
Mm.
and willing to better learn those things. If that makes sense on what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. So I want quickly before I answer that question. So Zay is asking what we're talking about, and today's topic we're talking about putting ourselves first for the new year 2026, and the steps for doing that. And we've already, we're discussing, and it's not just about putting yourself first in a relationship. It's putting yourself first in your career. It's putting yourself first prior to family, friends, all of that. It makes, yes, ma'am. It makes a huge difference. I'm used this year, for example. Um, I do want to ask you something though, Furman.
Go ahead.
You okay? So while you are on your health journey, because
Hmm.
I'm so proud of my niece, and her health journey, because she's on her look. Even though she got a little snarky little mouth, and I've been walking with her, and she's like, "Well, I'm just on it for me. I'm
Yeah, hey, she got the
just
right
on it for
mindset. That's
me."
it. That's it.
But you
That's
know
it.
what? You know what? She stood on business, and I love that. And I hear you talk about your health journey, and I was like, hey, you got to do it for you, because that's the one thing. Even
Yeah.
though I'm telling her, hey, let's try fast walking. She's like, no, I want to start doing it like this first. And I'm just like, okay, then fine. You want to do it like that, fine. But you know what? I always tell her, I can't even be mad at that, because I always tell her, hey, she needs to put herself first. So even if she had to check her auntie and be like, no, auntie, I'm still gonna do this here my way. That's exactly what I expected her to do. That's exactly what I expected her to say. So I actually feel good about her saying that, because that lets me know she's actually listening. But she's strong minded, and I see her progress. And I'm so proud of her. Um, but how is the health journey? Okay, wait. So I'm gonna put this here up here. So Zay also started. She said she's. What did she say? I started taking initiative to become more active this year. I'm training for my 10K walk, since I'm usually stationary, and by next year, I want to be running.
Awesome sauce. Awesome
Awesome,
sauce.
awesome. So how did you start yours? Furman, how did you start yours? I know let's talk a little bit about the health. Cause I mean like we can talk about relationships all day, right? No one's ever gonna have the right answer for that. Like and who wants to talk about that shit right now? Let's talk about something that's gonna make us prolong our life right now. So let's talk about that. What are you doing right now?
Oh man, main thing I'm really doing now is eating a lot of vegetables, eating a lot of fruit.
Mhm.
Of course, I drink plenty of water. Of course,
Yeah.
go to the gym. Man, in fact, I just want to look good for me. I look at
Yeah.
myself getting more handsome,
Hmm.
more useful looking for my age. And I'm not old, I'm still a young guy. But the most important thing is being more active and being more energetic, because
Yeah.
being healthy, I do believe being healthy, being in shape is part of our life's purpose. Just taking it serious, staying consistent with the whole thing. Getting in my mind like the days that I'm off. Get up at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's just what I do. Get up at
Yeah.
3 a.m. in the morning, go to the gym, get my mind right, meditate. Because in the gym, it's not that many people in the gym. Besides people that's going to work, you got the elderly people. I can't, you know what? The elderly people, and there is no excuse. If they can get up and go work out, young people can do it too. They show me there is no excuses at all. But the main thing, Lo, is really just staying consistent with my journey. Doing it for me. I can look at myself as an investment at
Yeah.
the end of the day, because nobody's not gonna come to my front door and say, "Hey, Furman, hey, Maurice, You need to get your life together. I had to make up in my own mind, and I had a lot of fire under my ass to get myself
Yeah.
together. And big shout out to my doctor, Dr. Dunbar. I met with him on yesterday for my annual checkup. Everything's good. Everything's still on point, of course. So still continue on making that progress as I move
Yeah.
forward. So big shout out to Dr. Dunbar. But just really taking heed, low to what I want, how I want to be established, how I want to be remembered, how I want to look for myself. Because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I want to live life to the fullest. And I have to be healthy in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? Break away from mediocre, break yourself around from mediocre people, and be around go getters, be around iron sharpen iron, right? I
Yeah.
want at the point now is living life to the fullest, being
Mhm.
happy for me, full of joy for me. This is something I'm practicing in my own personal journey,
Yeah.
not being a victim, going from victim to victor. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Ooh,
But at,
I like that. Going from
yeah,
victim to victor.
yeah. So that's how it is. But like I said, main thing is just really staying consistent. Right today I had eggplant today. That's what my meal. I ate eggplant today. I seasoned it
Yeah.
real good, cooked it in the oven. So that's
Mhm.
all I do. And just
Yeah. I feel
staying
you.
healthy.
I feel you. Know, I went through my own health journey a couple years back. I know you and I had talked about it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had always been thin all my life. I had 3 kids, okay? But that third baby put some weight on me, okay? And it was just baby weight. I mean, I think I gained up to 140 pounds, right? But then I got birth control, and you know how birth control is. Our bodies weren't meant for these type of hormones, and it makes you gain weight. So I did gain weight, and I hated it. I
Right.
hated it. I hated it so much. Going from a size freaking 4 to a size 12. It was just, I know our average woman here in America is like it's a size 12, but it just wasn't for me. I felt the weight, I felt the heaviness. I did not feel healthy. And I was like, no, I gotta do
Mm-hmm.
something better. I was getting older, I made the decision. I'm like, I don't want any more children anyway. So hey, whatever, get rid of that. So start eating
Right.
better. I started just like Zay said, she's portion controlling. I started portion controlling. It was something that my whole household did. Um, we did. I started. We stopped eating out. Okay, that's when all my kids were here. Um, and I was cooking.
Okay.
I was cooking like every day. Oh God. I don't even know how I was doing that shit. I was cooking every day. We were doing sports. I was going to work. I don't even know how I was doing that shit, but I was. And I stopped eating meat. I was just eating the sides. And one of the things that my doctor had said, because I was feeling a little down, and I didn't know why, but I do know now that it had something to do with my hormones. Um, and my hormones have, because I'm a woman, I'm at that age where menopause that's where I'm at. Um, it will definitely drive you crazy. Um, and that premenopause is what was driving me crazy. And my doctor was like, shout out to Dr. De Leon. He was like, one of the best things you can do is start, walking and running, um, you know, in the sun, because when you start doing that, it's going to help you. Um, and it did. But I became obsessed with like running, and I got like super skinny. I got like really fast because conditioning, like running. I felt like I was running for that 10K. She was talking about. I felt like I was running like for that 10K. Um, and I was like, Lord have mercy. I was like, oh wait, I gotta slow down because I was losing way too much weight too fast, and I wasn't. Even though I was losing the weight, I was not eating the way should have. I wasn't providing myself enough protein.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that point, I literally became like vegan. Like if you ask me, that's basically because I had stopped eating meat for a while. For a long time, I had stopped eating meat, And I was like, golly, I gotta start eating something because I'm not feeling good. Even though I was
Right.
and I looked different, I just wasn't feeling good. And so I was like, oh, okay, so something else gotta change. So I was like, well, dang it. Well, let me go ahead and try to you know, add I started eating almonds and different walnuts and stuff, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And I was like, well, oh, I don't know what is enough. I saw atrophy in my muscles. So eh, I mean, my diet started getting extreme. I started fasting. Like I only ate once a day. And over time your body get used to it. And I was doing it for years. I was doing it for years. I would never get hungry. And I didn't realize I was actually hurting myself. So if you don't know what you are doing, and I did not know what I was doing. I thought I did at the time, but obviously I didn't. Until I went to a dietitian, they were like, "Girl, no, you're doing it wrong. You got to supplement the things that you're not getting." Okay. Uh, Okay, she said, okay, so Zay said, do you think you went through withdrawal from eating meat? No, I no, I didn't go through withdrawal from not eating meat. But I did okay, so one of my biggest things that kept the weight on me was drinking sodas. And I know I'm drinking one right now. Okay. I just started drinking them like maybe 2 years ago. Um, but for like at least 6 years I had stopped drinking sodas, like period. Um I went through the withdrawal from not drinking soda, and it was like for like a week, and I was like, "Dang, I feel sick for not drinking this soda. Like, why am I not? What the hell? What the hell's going on? Why I feel like this? Not drinking a soda for real? Like, what's going on?" And so, I was like, "Man, I gotta do something different." So, but I did like my results, but regardless of that, I did have to do something different. I had to, for real. I had to make sure like I said, I went to the dietitian and I got back on my regular diet. And I supplemented what I needed to. Being small doesn't make you healthy. Okay. Let's get that straight. Being small does not make you healthy. Okay. I'm small right now. Like I'm a size 2'4", 2'4". Okay. But that doesn't mean that I'm healthy. I had a lot of stomach. So lesson learned. Okay. I still don't really get hungry. It's something that I had to, something that I'm going through now. I still have to force myself to eat because I won't feel hungry. I will not. And I'm like, man, this has gone too long. So I try to practice. I practice on eating all the time. I started eating meat again though, because my iron got low. It got super low. And that can be fatal, My doctor was concerned with my iron being so low. And I was like, golly, but wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, that's not what people at work was thinking. I don't know what these folks at work was thinking. They were thinking like, oh, did you have surgery? I'm like, bitch, I wasn't even big enough to have surgery. What the hell are you talking about? They were thinking that I had like some type of gastric bypass or something. And I was like, huh? No. The fuck? No. I just took out my birth control and I started like dieting, I guess, and fasting. I was fasting and I was working out at night. Now I will say the working out, it really gave me peace. I can't lie, it did, because I would go at night. No one was there. And it just gave me peace. Nobody was there to bother me. I was by myself and I was doing something active. That's why when I read earlier what Google said, find you some activities that bring like exercise and stuff, that actually really works. It really works and it helps you a lot. So yeah, no, that is good. That's some good stuff right there. But also let's talk about, so we talked about the whole part on as far as diet is concerned. Let's talk about a little bit about family. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. My mic went out.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. But before we go any further, I want to give a big shout out to everyone. Also, before we go any further, I want to give a big shout out to everyone on the Instagram side. Big shout out to Jazzy Red Talk Show in the comment section on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Big shout out to Day Day as well that's watching. Big shout out to Business Bullies watching as well. I always want to announce the ones who are watching us as well on Instagram. So big shout out to y'all as well. So we just want to thank y'all for tuning in and watching us on the Instagram side as well. So I give a big shout out to those watching us on Instagram. I'm sure, man. You know what? I'm sure what I did the other day. What I did the other day, and I look at myself as an investment. This how much I spent to the vitamin shop.
Yeah, I
That's how
see
much I spent to the
that.
vitamin.
Hey, I don't fuck with
But see,
vitamins. I don't fuck with vitamins. I've
but
had such a bad turnout with vitamins. I don't fuck with vitamins. They are not, yo,
hey,
they are not my best friend. No. What? I do not
but that's
mess
how
with
much I spent at the vitamin. That's how much I spent at the vitamin shop the other.
Ooh,
I look at
friend.
myself as an
Why?
investment
Friend, you could have cut
because I
me
look at
that
my.
check. You could have cut me that
Cause I
check
look.
and sent it my way. God dang. I would have made you a vitamin.
Hey, hey, that's how. Hey, I look at myself as investment. I look at myself as investment because I love me. I look at myself as investment, Larissa, because I love me. I acknowledge me. I admire me. I got to get to the point. I had to put a restraining order on me because I'm looking good every day, turning
Man,
heads, but for
I
myself.
see
But
you. But the last time I done tried taking some vitamins, I ended up in the hospital. I, I'm almost embarrassed to say, okay, because okay, so I had a really bad accident, and I suffered from a really bad concussion, and I
mm,
kept having concussions. Don't ask me why. I had like 2 or 3 concussions that year, right? And so one of the things that my doctor had told me was to take magnesium. And I was. And I decided, okay, well, let me take this magnesium, help me with my memory, blah, 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 everything. And I decided to take like this vitamin B complex, but I didn't know it had magnesium in it as well. Man, I gave myself like a toxic dose of
mm,
magnesium. I was like, but I don't know what I was thinking. But hey, let's just put it like this. I think I was out of my mind at the moment. I was out of my mind at the moment. So now I don't fuck. I do not mess with vitamins. No freaking way. That's just a personal thing, not
uh,
for those that like not bad. Yeah, you got damn right. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to vitamins, so I don't fuck with them. I don't mess with them. That's how it is. I don't mess with them. Sorry. So hey,
yeah.
I see the water.
Oh yeah, cause oh yeah. I mean, cause like I said that's why I go to. Of course, that's one of my favorite stores here in DFW to go to. Like I said, I'm
Vitamin
always
shot.
investing in my body. Yeah, cause I'm
Yeah.
always investing in my body. Because my body is my temple. My body is my money maker. My body is part of my purpose, and I gotta be healthy. The rest in order to do that. I mean, I
Well,
can't.
if your
Cause you
body
know,
isn't fit, honey, you're not alive. So yeah, you're right.
yeah, cause what it is. Everybody, I hear people they want to chase the bag, chase the bag. How you gonna chase the bag? You're not getting a proper rest. You're not eating the proper foods. You're not keeping a balance. And everybody want they work themselves to death, getting money, 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 money. But then we're lacking other areas. And I learned how to keep that balance. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I will shout out to this. So I didn't go. I never did go to the vitamin shop, but I did go to this place that's in Oak Cliff, and it's called Ann's Health Food Store.
okay.
They have the best chicken freaking salad ever, ever. And shout out to them because that is like a family owned vitamin shop. They will help you, you know, they will help you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They will help you. Whatever questions you have, they are there. They do have a lot. They have food as well, organic stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I mean it is. I mean, It's pricey, but hey,
It's
it's
worth it.
definitely there. They have been in the community for years. So shout out to them. If you don't know where it's in Oak Cliff. It's off of Sainer. I would say Sainer in Illinois. It's right beside the Sonic, if you know what I'm talking about. But yo, it's check it out. Check them out. So Zay, I'm gonna move on to the next comment though. So Zay said no comment on the family thing. Yes, ma'am. It is. So let's talk about family because okay. So we talked a little bit about love. Definitely talked about health because health is important. You don't put like you said, if you don't put yourself first, guess what? You gonna hey, you don't put your health first, and if you
Yeah, cause
not gonna be here.
yeah, man, that's stuff. It's important. It's
Yeah,
very important to do that. And I know that you talking about family. No comment on the family thing. So we're gonna talk about family, right? You want to talk about family.
yeah. So okay, before we do talk about the family thing, well, it is kind of family-ish, but I will say this. So my mom had been going through I've been helping my mother a lot. She's been
Mm-hmm.
sick. She's been sick a lot. So I've been with her like every day.
Okay.
And so like every day. She just recently had an amputation and I knew it was going to happen. Um, that was one of those things. Remember, I said putting yourself first, your career first, all that stuff. I should have invested myself in my career when I was younger, but I didn't. Hey, it is what it is. I invested in my family instead, I guess. Um, but I wish I would have done that, and then I think my family would have benefited more from me investing in my career. But regardless, my mom had an amputation and she's a diabetic. She have a lot of health problems. Um, her foot was not looking good. Okay. The lady that was coming out, oh, I wish I could show you pictures. I mean, I would, but I don't have her permission to show pictures. Um, so I'm not gonna show them now. But from what it looks like from what the nurse, this was a nurse, a registered nurse that was coming out doing wound care on her. It was looking horrible. She developed a blister on the dorsal region of her foot. Remember, she had her second toe amputated. It was gangrene. It's next to the great toe or the big toe. um I knew it was going to cut off. Don't let these doctors fool you, okay? Don't let these doctors play in your face, people. That's real talk, okay? You got to pursue your health, all right? Don't if they're gonna play with you, no. Make them work for their money. That's what they are there for. This one doctor told my mom, let it rot off. I said, the hell is not gonna let it rot off. No, it be in her bones. She's gonna lose a whole goddamn foot. No, we're not gonna let nothing rot off. And then he was like, oh, well, I need something from her vascular team that says that she's going to get 100%. I'm 100% guaranteed that it's going to heal. Sir, she's a diabetic. She had an angioplasty. An angioplasty is where they kind of put like when you have your veins are kind of, let's just say you have your veins, they're blocked, and then they use a balloon to kind of expand it to make the blood flow. So she had that done, and it did increase in blood flow, but the toe was not going to be saved. Let me tell you something. Had I not pushed for the well-being of my mother, she probably would have lost her foot. Had I not been there and have helped her with her wound care, she would have lost her foot. My mother's foot literally was the color of the goddamn phone. Okay, black. It was black. It's black. You could tell. It was horrible. It was horrible. Now, um, we changed podiatrists because remember the podiatrist has to be the one to to do the amputation. Okay, so there were different teams to do it. Um, so basically, I I literally cleaned up a lot of that stuff. I removed a lot of the blistered dead skin. Um, the plan was to use a lot of iodine to dry a lot of it out. And her toes are now coming back to color. She did lose some mobility as far as blood flow and mobility and walking because she was just laying in the bed. And you know what? And I forced her. I forced her to get up. I was like, no. I said, you know why your blood flow is like it is? Because you're laying in this bed and you got your foot elevated like it is. I said, you need to get up and walk around. And that's what you're gonna do. And she's like, why are you talking to me like that low? I'm your mama. I said, well, I'm your mama today. And I was like, and guess what? Her foot is looking so much better, y'all. Her foot is looking so much better. And so, and all, I know to her, it might seem harsh, but I love my mom. It's just me and her. Okay. I don't have another mama. Um, my brother died. That's it. Me and my mother, and I have my kids and my grandkids, and that's it. That's it. That's all I got. So you know what? I'm gonna give them all I can. Um, so that's how. Oh, and my niece and my nephew. So don't give me straight. Don't give me. I got. They like my kids too. But that is. But let's get back to putting yourself first on family situation. I know it can be a touchy topic. Um, I know you said Maurice, I'm gonna let the lady go first the first time, but I'm gonna let you go first this time. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first this time on this family topic.
Hey, you know what? Family is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Family is awesome. Big shout out to my mom and dad, of course, back at home in Mobile. My mom tells me all the time she's proud of me. My dad tells me that as well. Like my younger brother. Big shout out to my younger brother on my mom's side, of course. CJ. He wants to transition here to Dallas, and the reason why, because he told my mom about it. Then he kind of told me about it. He said, "I want to come here. I want to change." She said, "Good kid, good kid, good head on the shoulder." And my mom said, "I don't know what it was. Maybe because when you came home, you inspired him to make that change." So,
Mm,
cause I said he approached me with it. I didn't say anything about him transitioning here, but he came to me about it. So I said, "Hey, you can make it happen. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. I support you. You want to come here and establish a foundation for yourself? Hey, by all means, do it." But getting back to the point, my mom said, maybe because when you came home to visit, that really inspired him and motivated him to get his life on track. And I'm all for it. I'm all for people making a life for themselves. Because I
yeah,
did it. I'm not
yeah,
talking about it, Larissa. I'm actually being about it. Like I mentioned earlier on the show, I'm all about seeing the results. Uh, Main thing is acknowledge my last name. Okay, my last name is Jackson, right?
mm,
Putting a stamp on my last name. Make sure my last name means something. Because at the end of the day, Larissa, what people gonna acknowledge us for? Yeah, they gonna acknowledge the good that you done or the bad that you done, or you may got some haters who don't like you at all, but that's just life. But
yeah.
but the most important thing is just being an example. And my dad used to tell me that all the time, because me being the oldest child, my dad said, "You the oldest, you gotta lead by example." I didn't understand why he said that, but then as I got
Ooh,
older,
I had $1 for every
as I
time.
got older, I understand where he was coming from. You had to
Yeah.
lead by example. And I think as being the oldest child, they expect us to do more. So you got
Mm,
siblings under you. Like you are the one that, hey, you are the one to lead them. You are the one to be a game changer. And I'm understanding that. And I didn't understand that. But as I got older, I'm understanding you are the one for the lead the way for your brothers and show them the way and show them the path and show them the blueprint.
but
So
are you
it's like,
really?
huh?
Are you though? But really? Like really? Like is that what the oldest kid really supposed to do?
It's
Really?
it seems like that
Honestly?
way. It's like it seems like that way. It's like you have to. You are the one lead by example. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know, friend. I feel like sometimes that. I feel like it's a lot of stuff is unfairly put on older children, um, because the parents are being first time parents for their older kids, or for their first child. And so they're learning just as much as their first kid is learning, or if that's how it is. But as far as parenting, no. Me personally, I don't feel like it is the responsibility of my oldest kid to um, to lead their brothers and sisters. I feel like they should all be leaders in their own right. Now don't get me wrong. I actually used to have that mentality. My children are much older now. My oldest is 30. Um, he just had a birthday. 25 and 19. Um, I don't feel that way anymore because they are their own person, and I realize that they all lead different lives, and it was never Isaiah's responsibility. That's my oldest. Isaiah's responsibility to lead his older brother and sister. That was his parents' job. That was my job. And although I did, and I used to put, I feel like sometimes that is like unfair to pressure our kids to do that, um, without sharing that responsibility with the other kids. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it should be spread amongst everybody, not just put on one. Because it makes it unfair. And I say that because, just like you know, I, hey, you lead by example. You're the oldest, Lo. And everything was just like, well, whatever you learn or whatever you do, well, then, hey, it's your fault. No, it ain't my fault. Shit, what the hell you mean? It ain't my fault. It's your fault. You're the parent. Damn it. It ain't my fault. Shit. I'm a kid. So no, I guess that's where we differ on that. But I had to learn that too as a parent. I'm still learning as a parent. I think there are stages that you always learn as a parent. I'm glad your mom and dad is very happy with you, and your brother has taken your example and is trying to do a lot of good things with his life because he see you doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure he got the same type of love that you got. So that was never your responsibility. That was
But you know
always
what?
his responsibility.
But you know what? It taught me a lot. It really did, and I appreciate the lessons learned, especially being a man of color. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a man of color. It's that you already got that against you. First of all, the color of your skin. You already know that. But I appreciate the lessons that my parents installed upon me, and also learns to be able to take it to the next level in my own life and striving each and every moment. Have I made good decisions along the way? I say I have not, but I learned from that stuff. And and the main thing is always staying humble and learnable. And that's been my prayer all the time: to stay humble, to stay teachable, and to stay learnable.
Hmm.
Because I'm always
Yeah.
gonna learn as I go, and you're always gonna learn from people who you come in contact with as well. So I consider myself a student of the game, student of life. But other than that, I'm looking forward to bigger and better things this year and beyond. As long as we got this blood pumping through our heart, hey, we got work to do. So
Yeah,
hey, I'm
that's
loving it.
true.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So
I
yeah.
also believe that we have to set healthy boundaries as it pertains to family members, because I feel like um, we don't. We let family members sometimes run over us. I was talking to a cousin. It's so crazy how you meet people. So I met my cousin for the first time. One of my cousins for the first times, December the 27th. One of my cousins passed away. Okay, and I knew her mom, but I never knew her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why I never met her? But I met her adopted daughter, who odd enough used to work. Who funny story? I don't know if you knew her, but when I used to work at the sheriff's department, Miss Hodge, Sergeant Henderson's wife. So that's her adopted sister or sister somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people used to tell me that I looked like her, and I was like, "Who is that?" And come to find out, that was like my mom's cousin. Like her
Hmm.
mom is my mom's cousin. So I was like, God dang, it's a small world. You just never know. Like she's not the only cousin that I met up there that I ended up working with, like Miss Goodson and A. Smith. I don't know if you know Deputy Smith. But she's also a cousin that and we were co-workers and we worked together like every single night, okay,
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years. And I did not know how close we were as far as kinship. Like I did not know that. Like her grandfather and my grandfather were brothers. I was like, what the hell? And just so happened, I was like, yo, I would love to go back home to Houma, Louisiana to visit my family, blah, blah. She's like, you from Houma? Your family from Houma? I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah. So, but getting back to this one cousin. So, I'm talking to my cousin and I was like, man, why I never met her? Like she knew my brother because I guess they were in the same class um growing up, but I never knew her. And she got to be the cool man. When I tell you she's so funny, she is so cool. Man, I thought we already got plans to hang out. Okay, we already got plans to hang out, and I just feel like I missed out on so many family members because of other family members in the family being messy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
this is why healthy boundaries got to be made. Like, I grew up with because I'm honest, just saying here. I'm honest when it comes to just speaking the truth. I grew up around people who would get mad at other family members and use their children and be like, and I was one of those kids be like, well, you can't talk to them because now I'm mad at their parent. Like, why? Like, what is that about? What they got to do with me? Like they never did nothing to me. So and not saying that that's the situation with that because it wasn't. It was never the situation with that. My mom and her mom always had a good relationship. It's just I just never knew them, and I just feel like golly. I just thinking back over my life because why? As you get older, hey, you start thinking about life. You start thinking about things that has happened
Yeah.
in your life, people that have come in your life, that has gone out of your life, people that you love, people that you've lost. You start thinking about a lot of stuff, and so I was thinking about that. But healthy boundaries is a really good thing, no matter if even if it's a close family member, even if it is a close family member, there has to be healthy boundaries. I remember telling my son one time in high school, now I did consider myself a strict parent. I can't lie. I did. And I told him, he had said something smart to me. Now, mind you, my kids never cursed or cursed me or anything like that. No, hell no,
Right.
they get beat up. But anyway, so but he said something real smart to me, right? I said, let me tell you something. You can either be in the box with your family or you can be outside the box. Now that's when I was at my strictest. I was like, which one you want to be at? And I was like, I think about that all the time. I think about that all the time because I was like, damn, I actually could have worded that way different so he wouldn't feel a type of way about that. Because even though the message was clear, how I said it wasn't nice. And I was like, I don't like the way I said it. And I think about that. That's a regret for me. And I was like, man, what could I have said differently? as far as my kids, like we can like, and I know I'm just kind of everywhere with this here whole family thing, because family is kind of everywhere. It's so much you can dig into when it comes to family. Um, and I know we're limited on time, but shoot, man, all I have to say about family, you got to create some healthy boundaries. That's it. Even if it's your children, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, cousins, you got to create some healthy boundaries and let them know that, hey, I want us to be in a healthy um, relationship. I don't want us to be in a toxic relationship. Let's break these generational curses, because it's these generational curses that leads to all these horrible get-togethers, these horrible fallouts, these moments that you remember as a kid where everybody used to come together for Christmas, and then all of a sudden no one,
Right.
where's that at? So like, where's the lesson in that? You know, somebody have to be an adult, and everybody's acting like children.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
But yeah,
say yeah.
I know it's a lot to pack in, friend. What?
Hey, but other than that, hey, I am excited. It's all unlearn to relearn. That's all I say. Unlearn to relearn. We are creatures of habit. We are supposedly to evolve and grow. I'm an advocate for that. I'm an advocate for all about evolving and growing, establishing your legacy, establishing your mark, and becoming a free thinker. Become a free thinker. Think for yourself. Learn. Iron sharpen iron, and be around and surround yourself with people who are go getters. Surround yourself with people who will hold you accountable, put your foot to the fire. Be around people who have something positive to say, not negative to say. Support someone's dream as well. Someone have
Yeah,
aspired to do a dream. Encourage them. Don't tell
yeah,
them nothing negative, but encourage them. Light a fire in the behind. Hey, you say you want to do this. Hey, I'm put your foot to the fire, right? This you say you want to do. Okay, I'm gonna put you towards what you want to do in life. We gotta learn how to do that, and I'm learning that in my own life. You gotta learn and live a life like a rock star. You know what I'm saying? This is your life. You only got one life to live, and cherish their life. You say set healthy boundaries, right?
yeah,
So cherish your life, set the boundaries. It's okay to say no. Learn how to say no. You ain't gotta say yes
yeah,
to everything. You gotta say yes to everybody. If you tell them no and they get offended, they just ain't for you anyway. God just moved them out the way. So
yeah. Yeah, that's
um
true.
be happy with yourself, love yourself, support yourself.
Yeah.
And if you got some dreams, make it happen, Captain.
Oh, that used to be my saying: "Make it happen, Captain."
Yeah, I mean, hey, you want to do it, go for it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, hey, just
no,
make it
that is
happen.
true.
I support you. Anything you want
Yeah,
to do, anything you want to set your mind to, I support you. I'm just saying, go do it. Like, what
yeah,
you waiting
that's
on? What you thinking about? What you
yeah.
waiting on? Do it. Make it
Okay.
happen. I
Sometimes
support
it's
you.
hard. I think people have a they are. I think people sometimes are scared. I don't know. I don't know if it's
It
always
happens.
support, because I think they do. Sometimes people do have support and do have people encourage them, but they're scared. They are still scared of the outcome, or still scared of not succeeding in what they are trying to put their mind to doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but no, you are absolutely right. You got to believe in yourself first and foremost. Um, that's what you got to do. Um,
Yeah.
family, you
Right.
want your family
Because,
to be there, but yeah, gotta look out for A1.
well, I mean, hey,
Say no
everything
to
start with
folks.
self first.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right about that. But like everything start with self first. And anytime you got something going, what I tell you, handle your business. I tell you that. I say handle your business. Yeah,
Yep.
because hey,
Yep. Yep.
you gotta be about it. Yeah. I ain't gonna tell
I
you
was
nothing
telling you
less.
about. I said, yo, I got homework. I got tests. Just last
Handle your
week,
business.
you said handle your business now. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just
And I
like, man,
mean
you
that
can't
from my
find
heart.
friends like that, man. I'm like,
I mean that. I
I
mean
don't
that
know.
from my heart because you're making it happen. You're not just talking about it, you being about it. And that's why I learned, Lo, it's all about making results. Hold me accountable too. You know what I'm saying? It's
You know I will.
iron sharp. All right, like I said, iron sharpen iron. You know what I'm saying? It just not to hurt you. And we had a conversation about this a while back. When people hold you accountable, it's to help you along the way. It's not to hurt you or belittle you or make you bad. It's the okay, this person see the best of me. Okay, the person see the potential of me. And when you do correct me, I can say, you know what? That's love. So don't
Yeah,
tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I eat here. Don't pat me on the ass and say it's okay when you know it's not okay. I hate that to a T. Don't pretend everything's good and it's not good and come back and say later on, oh, this is what I was feeling the whole entire time.
but
Nah, just
but
let me
I
better.
do believe that there's a way you can say it to a person without trying to hurt them. You know, because I feel like if you really want to help a person or encourage a person and hold them accountable, there are ways you can say that to a person without hurting them. You know what I'm saying? So, that whole say, what's the saying? Don't say nothing bad to somebody that you don't want if you don't want them saying something bad about you. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it all.
There
But
you go.
you know
There
what?
you go. Why the hell I
Yeah.
couldn't think about that? I didn't even
But
think
you
about
know
that
what?
saying.
But if it's on your heart to tell me the truth, tell me the truth. If I get
I
mad,
mean,
all
the
well.
truth is there. No, I'm with you. I'm
Right.
with you on that. I'm with you on
But then
that.
I
But just like, go ahead, go ahead.
but you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying November. If I get mad, I get mad. But then I'm gonna think about it. So you know what? She was right. That really showed me that she really has my best interest. That just me. But you
Yeah,
go ahead and
yeah.
finish.
No, but I just feel like, just like earlier when I had said, I could have told my son in a different way. You can either be in the box with your family or on the outside of the box with your family.
Right.
I felt like I could have said that in a different way that would have impacted him in a different way. I I could have. And I think with a lot of people they can. It is there. They have the capability to do so. That doesn't mean that they're not holding that person accountable. That doesn't mean that they're not saying those things that they need to hear. They are saying those things that they need to hear, because a lot of people do need to hear stuff that they need to hear, even though they don't want to. Even
Yeah.
though they don't want to. No one wants to hear shit that sounds bad when it comes to them. I'm gonna just use you for example, because I'm talking to you. Affirming you're this, blah 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 blah. You don't want me like doing that to you. You know what I'm saying? You want me to be
Mhm.
like, well, affirming, hey, look, we can do it in a different type of way. Oh Lord, these kids, look, my kids, they so loud. Now let me see what should I say to them right now about being loud and rude. What should I say to them about being loud and rude? But no, they no look, they got real quiet too. So so it's just a way. It's a way to say things. I just feel like
It
you can
is. It
say things
is.
without hurting people, and you know people have to learn how to do that in order to salvage relationships. And I think that's where the whole family situation kind of ties into what I'm saying right now. Um, and that's why there's a lot of family fallouts. You can
Mm.
say things to family or friends and they get hurt, or spouses or boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, and they get really hurt by it because of the way it is being said to them. And I'm not saying you should kiss anybody else. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, if I love you, if I love you, I'm not going to say nothing to hurt you. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
anything
That's
to
it.
hurt you, to purposely hurt you. That is what I'm not going to do.
Mm.
If I think that hey, you're spending too much money, right? And you're always broke, right?
Mm. Right.
And I know it, and I know it, and I can see it. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna say, hey, you're spending too much damn money. God damn it. If you start living beyond above your means, then maybe ask, maybe we should look at your finances, and maybe we can come up with a plan. I can help you. I can
Right.
help you with that plan if you want me to. What do you want me to do? Because being a listening ear is better than being a preaching one. Okay. Don't
Right.
nobody want to hear that, because they will tune you out. It'll go through this ear and come on, not the other. Don't nobody
Right.
want to hear that, especially if they feel like it's hurtful. Look, I guess that's why, I don't have very many friends, right? Like you are the third among my 3 friends I got.
But you know what? That's, if you do it, I mean, you look at that could be a good thing. You don't need everybody in your circle anyway.
I mean, what is it? Is you, Galton, and Herman?
But hey, a lot of times you probably need all the people in your circle anyway. They do you a favor. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want no
Yeah, I know,
leeches
right?
and no manipulators and
Okay,
none
because I don't do
two-faced.
that.
Yeah, you don't want no
Oh God.
two-faced and all that stuff. You don't need all that. Like I said,
Hmm. Yes, and that's
unwanted
why. That's
company.
why I click with you. That's why I click with you. That's why I click with you, because you straight up. You will tell me. You will tell me, but you're encouraging, and so are my other 2 friends. They're the same way. Now Galton is a little bit different. Galton, I've been knowing him longer than both of y'all, and I went to school with Galton, so Galton is really like my little brother. So he be talking a lot of shit to me. So I'll be like, "Shut the hell up," But I look at him like that annoying little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like we went on family vacations, like when we were 13. So it's a little different. He talks a lot of shit to me. So, but I do know that he means well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I know and he's very protective. And that's why I love y'all. I've like, man, ooh, idea for the next show. For our next talk, friend. Cause I know that, ooh, idea for the next talk.
well,
Can men
say
and
for the
women
next
be
talk.
friends? Yeah, men and
Well,
women can actually be friends. We need,
well,
yeah,
it's
that need to be talked about Sunday.
hey, save for the next talk. Save for the next talk. We
Yes.
work that. 'Cause I know we at that time now.
Yep.
With that time frame, so we about to get ready to depart, of
Yes.
course, and we had a good
I'm
time.
about to
Thank you,
do my
everybody,
work.
for going to do your work. Big shout out to everyone who watches on Instagram as well. So big shout out to everyone on Instagram side and comments as well. So we about to get ready to depart, man. Y'all have a great rest of the evening, of course, and be safe out there. Stay warm and
Stay
all the other
warm, and
great
if
stuff.
you're in the DFW, remember it's supposed to be like a storm or something.
That's
Y'all
what
be
they say.
careful on
We'll
the road.
see.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
be
Be
careful
careful
of
on
the
the
road.
road, regardless. That's what
Right,
y'all
most
should do.
definitely,
Yes.
most definitely. So we about to get ready to depart, and we got
All
this
right.
thing. So peace, everybody.
Peace. Bye. Hello. We offline. Oh, are we still on?
Hello, hello.